Some lessons disappear with time, but the greatest ones continue through every generation.
Before the 1960s, martial arts were highly guarded systems, separated by strict geographic and lineage boundaries. If you learned a specific style, you stayed strictly within that lane. Students were expected to memorize exact sequences handed down for generations. You didn't question if a stance or a strike worked in a real situation. You simply repeated what your master taught you. Outside of these distinct circles, the general public rarely saw actual kinetic fighting systems. Different cultures remained isolated, largely unaware of how other parts of the world trained and fought. The entire landscape was built on strict conformity. Fighters, and the cultures they came from, were effectively confined to their own isolated boxes. Then came Bruce Lee. He looked at these centuries-old rules and saw them as completely artificial boundaries. He started asking an uncomfortable question. What happens if a fighter stops caring about loyalty to a single tradition and only focuses on the techniques that actually yield results? He began pulling apart various fighting systems and pressure testing the theories in real sparring sessions. If a highly decorative movement didn't deliver a mechanical advantage, he stripped it away. By refusing to accept standard answers, he systematically dismantled the traditional approach to combat, and that approach was about to break out of the gym. The result of those aggressive experiments was Jeet Kune Do. Jeet Kune Do prioritizes extreme physical adaptability, shattering these isolated categories. A practitioner absorbs what is useful, discards inefficient habits, and finds the most direct path to the target. It is all about economy of motion. This physical deconstruction made him incredibly difficult to fight. Opponents couldn't predict his movements because he wasn't pulling from a recognizable playbook. But the process of stripping away useless information is highly scalable. It requires a specific way of thinking, independent of how you throw a punch. He established a methodology for dismantling physical barriers, a logic he soon applied to massive cultural divides. In the 1970s, Lee found a high-powered broadcast mechanism for this philosophy: Hollywood cinema. Earlier action films featured clunky, stage-managed choreography. Lee injected raw athletic intensity into the frame, moving with a speed audiences had never witnessed on screen. Millions of viewers, spanning different countries and economic backgrounds, saw this efficiency simultaneously. Dojos, boxing clubs, and gyms worldwide rapidly filled with young people trying to replicate those mechanics, connecting local neighborhoods to global martial traditions. Removing stylistic limitations on screen, he unified a diverse global audience around a common athletic language. Today, the global landscape of physical discipline operates on the exact principles he introduced. Contemporary combat sports routinely blend techniques from across the globe. Fighters are pulling wrestling from one continent and striking from another, seamlessly integrating the pieces. Lee's physical body has been gone for decades, yet the momentum of his methodology continues to accelerate. The entire structure of modern mixed martial arts relies directly on his initial refusal to accept rigid tradition. A moment of wonder. If you completely remove the physical combat from the equation, you are left with his macro-level contribution, a universal mindset of critical thinking. He framed it clearly: absorb what is genuinely useful, reject what is useless, and maintain a state of constant adaptation. That framework allows anyone to identify their own artificial boundaries, whether they are psychological, cultural, or professional, and systematically break out of them. He gave people a process for questioning the rules they were handed, providing a framework for limitless human evolution.